Real estate broker and owner of Frederickport Vacation Properties, he always dressed sharply, and if Joanne wasn't imagining things, he had recently improved his wardrobe. The slacks and dress shirts he wore these days seemed to be higher quality compared to his wardrobe 6 months ago. She liked Adam, even if he was something of a scamp with the ladies. Slightly out of breath when he reached her, he asked, "Have you heard anything?" "No." Joanne glanced up to the sky and pushed open the gate. "It's going to start raining. Come inside. We can talk there." With a nod, Adam silently followed Joanne. A brisk gust of air moved rudely across the walkway. By reflex, Adam tugged his light jacket tighter around his body and shivered. He picked up his step and caught up with Joanne, who was now at the front door, inserting her house key into the lock. Seeking warmth, Adam buried his hands deep in his pockets. He shivered and glanced around, waiting for Joanne to let them inside. Rain started to fall just as the door swung open. Both Joanne and Adam rushed into the front entry hall of Marlow House. There were no overhead lights on inside, just a dim glow of randomly placed nightlights to break up the darkness. All the shades were drawn, but considering the cloudy day, even if they had been open, the sunlight would be minimal. Inside, Sadie sat in the center of the entry hall, her tail wagging. Adam didn't notice her immediately, not until the dog let out a bark in greeting just as Joanne flipped on an overhead light. At one time, the golden retriever had made Adam nervous, but he and the dog had since come to terms with each other. "Oh, girl," Joanne said as she turned to Sadie and put out her hand. The dog rushed to her, tail still wagging. Kneeling down, Joanne accepted the wet kisses and showed her affection by several energetic pats to the dog's furry shoulders. Joanne didn't have to tell Sadie to calm down, for in the next moment, the dog let out a short bark and then sat down, no longer jumping on the housekeeper. Adam frowned at Sadie and thought, if I didn't know better, I'd say Ian, or someone, had just given Sadie the command to sit. "Come in the kitchen with me. I need to feed Sadie and Max." Joanne dropped her purse on the entry table and pulled off her jacket. She hung the jacket on the coat rack and then headed to the kitchen. "I keep wondering what I'm going to do with them," Adam said as he followed Joanne. "I'm trying not to think about that. I hope they're okay here." Adam watched Sadie, who trotted along beside Joanne. "They are for now." Once in the kitchen, Joanne headed to the pantry for bags of dog and cat food. Adam took a seat at the kitchen table and watched as Joanne filled 2 bowls with food, one with cat food and one with dog food, and set them both on the floor. Sadie went immediately for her bowl and started eating. "Aren't you afraid Sadie is going to eat the cat's food?" Adam glanced around, looking for Max. The cat was nowhere in sight. Joanne laughed and shook her head. "It's the strangest thing. Sadie never touches Max's food."